Hello, hello, and welcome to Super Right.
Now,
This is a new Banter, number 12.
12?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Thank you for our...
I just lost account because we have
Yes.
done it like so many times.
Yes, I know. And for our podcast listeners, I know that we put a lot out there because we have the full banters / episodes, and then we have the topics. And so we release one every day, kind of.
No,
And,
kind of, no.
Well, yeah. But like as we were starting, we just wanted to like feed the algorithm. So we had a lot of content out there. So we are taking seriously by the algorithm god. And since obviously it is not working whatsoever.
It is working. Now, what are you talking about? Like this week we had more than 100 views.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
it's
I'm
working.
talking about the podcast.
Yeah.
The platforms, the podcast. But I mean, no, the good thing about the podcast platforms is that usually people are a little bit more loyal. But that's what I mean. Like we are thinking about that, and I don't want to bombard people with our topics and then full and topics. And since we don't have many feedbacks so far,
Yeah,
so
people, please
so
subscribe.
we need to make decisions, and it's a lot of work to just like put every topic and then the description, and then you need the thumbnail, and then you need
the descriptions,
So-
which is my task, and I am not very good at it. It's just like when you have something that you don't like to do, it's a burden.
yeah.
Like for me,
So
it's
she
like,
loves to do it.
no.
I love to correct it afterwards.
Yeah. He always is. I think I put something, and then after I put something,
Yeah.
afterwards I check and like, okay, yeah, that's not what I put, but okay, he knows better. But yeah, we have done this episode, like this is like the second or the third time because we weren't in the place. We weren't feeling
Yeah,
it.
We weren't feeling it. But just to finish, so now you will have only the trailer on Mondays and the full episode of Banter on Wednesdays
evenings.
for the podcast listeners. So it's going to be easier to follow, I guess. And if you have any feedback or comment, please let us know.
Not my mother, not my father, someone else, please. And I think we took that decision because this week was very overwhelming for both.
Yeah, this episode particularly, it's like the first time that we're trying to record it.
Because this week was very overwhelming.
Well, yeah, you had a very tough week, yes.
Yeah, I had a very tough week.
Why?
The workload was all of a sudden from having 5, if I can put numbers, then all of a sudden 100 things to do at the same time.
Yeah.
And I am very bad. People that knows me, they know that I am very bad at multitasking. The only multitask that I do is watch TV and feel sorry for myself. I think I already told that.
Yes.
But it was very, very tough. And then we agreed since the very beginning that Super Right Now was about to have fun, to deliver something that it was entertaining, but also in a professional way. Informative, and to have conversations. So that's...
And have this feeling that we're all hanging out together.
Yeah.
So if you're like in a bad place or your mind is not set to it, it's really hard to have like something that is...
And I don't want to lie. That's what I was telling Pepe, that I don't want to put something there that I know I was in a very bad mood, that the dynamic wasn't the same, because I don't like to lie. I don't like to put something that it's not me.
Yeah, I think we're terrible actors.
Oh my God.
You can tell when we're not...
Yeah, you can tell when I don't like someone, my face is like, okay, don't talk. Or when I feel...
Yeah.
This is my face. Don't talk, Pepe.
Okay.
So going back, yes, we took the decision to put... to only do the trailer and the episode release.
Yes.
Because we want to do something really good. And
Yes.
plus Pepe is very good at...
At what?
I
really want to know.
No, you put a lot of effort. He's putting a lot of effort in this, more than I do, I guess. Sometimes. No, most of the times.
Well, it's also because my approach is always to do or to go over the top in order to have something that is okay.
No, like you are very oriented to detail, and I'm like just like, bleh. And you are like, no, the picture should be here, and that's good because it's something that I don't like, but I know, and he's right. Like you have to put the best out there.
But you need to find your balance, because really I make my life miserable because of that, and that's why today today is Sunday. We're recording on the Sunday.
Earlier than before.
Earlier than before. It's the day, so we're only drinking water today or coffee. So
yeah,
that's
water,
bad.
coffee, and a rice.
But maybe soon we'll have wine.
We have a bottle. Yeah.
But it's Sunday and today. So as I was saying,
that's mine.
Sorry. Trying to find the balance about my diminishing returns, like because I'm too much into details, I want to anticipate and prepare everything, and you're not like that, and we need to find a balance. And so I need to work towards that, to go meet in the middle basically. And today I am finally meeting in the middle, because today is Sunday and I did not take a shower yet.
And you know what?
No,
I
I still smell good.
I never take a shower on
and
Sundays.
she never takes a shower on Sundays.
Like Shakira. I never take a shower on Sundays. It's just...
I'm not that intimate with her, but it's good to know.
No, because she has a song in one of her very first albums that one of the lyrics is like, I don't take showers on Sundays. Guess what? Me neither.
Yeah.
So I'm not taking showers on Sundays unless I have to go to church.
Yeah.
I don't go to church, so I don't take showers.
Like for me, I cannot function if I didn't take a shower.
You're functioning right now?
Yes. Well, yeah, but
It's
Sunday.
surprising.
I mean, I cannot start focusing on work and stuff like that if I didn't take a shower. But I have a long time waking up anyway. It takes me a long time to wake up. So it's been a while since I woke up. So maybe I'm better now.
That's me taking No, I don't take showers on Sundays, and I am very open. I'm shameless about telling people that no.
Yeah, like at the beginning, like when she revealed that to me, I was like, but wait, like we are outside, and you present yourself to the outside world without being clean. That is like beyond my understanding. Because right now I didn't take a shower, but I'm still at home. I will not go outside before taking a shower.
You're French. You're very, very French.
Like the stereotype is the opposite. Is that we don't take showers.
No, but he's the opposite of the stereotype of what we think in Mexico French are. Because in Mexico we think French are like they don't take showers, and that's why they use a lot of perfume.
Yeah.
But he's the
Which
opposite.
was true in the 16th century, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. But now, like this guy, he's like the opposite and very extreme. You're very extreme. So I'm like, okay, you're super clean on Sundays. I'm super dirty on Sundays. But you know why? I'm myself.
Yeah.
I am myself.
Maybe I'm trying to take out all the the bad feelings and the dramas and the traumas that I have on myself, and I do that every single day, and it doesn't work because I'm still
he's having a breakdown. But anyway, no one can smell but me, and I mean.
Fortunately, from here I cannot smell.
No, I think it starts to smell.
It starts to smell. Okay, good to know.
Okay, so
I see a fly coming.
Today, talking about me not taking a shower, talking about me not taking a shower because that's me.
Yes.
So I am going to talk about how I slowly started to let my
self go.
No, not myself go, but just like stop trying to fit in a place where I do not belong, forcing myself, and it wasn't working for me. And I think that's why you and I became very good friends, because at some extent we shared the same kind of view of not trying to fit in a place.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like the reason why is because I think it took a lot of my energy and a big toll on me in my life, because I was kind of raised this way. On comparing yourself and having a lot of principles, think you should do things that are expected from you, and without having a chance to be myself, and because my mother is really like that. And I think like for other people, they would have lived it would have been fine, but for me it was I really felt like, why do I have to resemble something they're expecting from me? Why I just can be myself, and if they like me, good for them. If they don't, well, bad for them, and that's it.
And have you figured how? I mean, for me, it has been a long way.
Yeah. No.
Even before I got divorced, even before I was pregnant, and it was a constant fight of what I wanted to be, and and the place where I was living, because in my hometown, which is horrible, if you already listened to the previous episodes, you know that I don't like, because they are very square-minded, very conservative, very judgmental. So I was fighting to that until I realized that, okay, it was in my 20-ish years, when I was 20-something, that I was like, no, I don't want to fit in their standards.
Yeah. So you were 20 years old when you...
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's not the same as I was.
Well,
I am
after a long path of rebellious behaviors, I think.
Yeah. But so for me, this topic, I don't want to say topic because it makes it feel cold.
Yeah.
So I want to say that this conversation that I'm going to have with you guys and my best friend is about the journey that I have had for the last years, about how I can be more myself. And I think I have done it. I have succeeded at some extent, and working in my good and my bad habits. And you asked me yesterday, how do you, first you have to know who you are. Yeah. To define yourself, to be yourself. If you don't know who you are, like, well, that's.
I always admired people that say that, you know, they found themselves at 10 years old or at 8. At 8, they knew exactly who they were, and they followed their path. Like for me, I'm still like wondering.
Well, like for me, I'm not an expert, of course. I have no PhD. I'm just talking about life experience. And one of the main things is to know exactly who, like the characteristics that makes you who you are.
Yeah.
So one of the characteristics that I know that I have, the good ones and the bad ones. The first one, the good one that I think I have, you will say no, Fiona.
What?
If I am correct or no. Like, I think I'm funny.
Oh, one of your characteristics?
Yeah, one of my I think I'm funny, but at the same time, I take my jokes to the next level. So sometimes, most of the times, I am very offensive to others.
You sound like maybe...
Like you? Like you are?
Yeah, like provocative to some people, to some extent, and some people take offense.
So what I am asking you...
There's different degrees of that.
So what do you think is one of your characteristics of your personality?
Okay, so that's funny that you give this example, because I always like kind of the humor part of taking it to the next level and being provocative. Like that's something that I was really doing early on. And I think it was not only to push my limits, to see, you know, or try to test other people. I was being very provocative. And in a way it was testing, but really what it was my lack of confidence. And instead of showing myself for who I was testing the people that were with me to know what they were thinking, but I was not showing myself in my true light. And I get a lot of feedback from my friends that were telling me, every time you meet a new person and work together, I don't know why, you just like push the limits and say like really stupid things, and people take offense, and you need to be aware of that.
Yeah. And I think that's, I told you that many years ago, like we became very good friends. So that's when I realized that he had the potential to belong to my very close friends circle, because we were in this reunion, family reunion, and I told a very like offensive joke, and the only one that laughed was he. And I was like, okay, please. And at the moment I was like, probably he laughed because he wanted to be polite, because everyone was like,
no, I was laughing really hard. Like,
I know. But then it's really like, okay, that's when you realize that, okay, probably, yes, I need to find the boundaries. But that's when I realized that you have potential.
But there are some people that can understand those offensive.
So first, my journey to find myself, it's to find this type of traits, like the good ones in my personality and the bad ones. So I can say one, if I may, for you.
For one of my good traits? Oh, yeah, good. Yeah, you can. Please.
Because he's perfect. We're trying to find partner for Pepe, so I'm gonna say a good trait. He's very caring, very caring.
Really?
Yes, you are super caring. Yes, you are. In a way, it's not.
Didn't you tell me the opposite yesterday?
No. You see, you don't listen to me. That's a bad trait.
Yeah, that's bad trait. I don't listen. Well, you know why? Because I had years of practice being a husband.
I didn't because I didn't clean my ears. No, you are very caring, but that's a good trait. But the bad trait is that when you care about someone, you're very controlling, like extremely controlling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It's like you want them to feel okay, you want them to be happy, but you want to control every single step for them to be happy. Like, you have to do this. If you want to laugh, you have to do this. If you want to feel better, you have to do this.
You know why? It's because I have. It's so hard for me to organize myself on the.
Organize yourself. Like what?
I'm just looking at what you're doing with your stuff. Like you should see yourself right now.
Sorry.
I think it's so hard for me to organize myself the way I want to, the way I do at work for other people. Like basically when it's for a client, when it's for my job or whatever, I can organize myself. I anticipate, I prepare step 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the road to success. For myself, totally incapable of doing it. So when I care about someone, I guess, like my friend or whatever, then that's my way of doing the steps I should do so for myself, but for somebody else.
He's a very good coach. He is a very good coach.
A life coach, just for other people.
Yeah, for other people. And he's very encouraging, and that's a very good one. But as I said, he's controlling. So, like summing up, oh my God, I sum it up like for like I can say the first step to getting to be yourself is just really you have to know which are your characteristics. That's the first step.
Oh, so this is what you're doing right now. You're going to tell us how we can be ourselves.
Well, as I said, I'm not an expert. That's the way I have been working with myself for the last years. But even before when I got divorced.
You know why we're not ourselves? Because we're scared of what we can discover.
Well, that's the thing. When you find the things that you don't like,
yes,
that's when you take responsibility of that. Meaning that for me, I am offensive, or I don't provocative. I don't have boundaries. I am very outgoing, and therefore I don't have boundaries when approaching to other people, and other people may take that as an offense or feel uncomfortable.
Yes.
So once we know now that you know that, well, you already knew that you are super controlling, like you control every single.
This is new though. This is like the second part of my life that I've been like that. Before I wasn't like that. Yes.
Well, that's because life changed. Okay, especially when you get divorced. So now you have to take responsibility, because it's good to have good traits, but what are you going to do with the bad ones?
Yeah.
You have to evolve and take responsibility and stop blaming others of the things that you are or that you have done. So
yeah, I mean, that's the common thing, is that we always blame others when something is going wrong in our life, or
for being controlled. For not performing as the way you
Why are you resisting my control? It's your fault.
So now you have to make things different, right? And that's when you think like, okay.
Well, you know why I fail at controlling though? It's because I'm not a manipulator whatsoever. So there are people that are very good in controlling because they can manipulate. That means that they control you without you noticing that they are.
Are you trying to control me right now?
No. But the thing is that even though I'm obsessed with control, I'm extremely bad at manipulating, because it doesn't come. It's not coming naturally. I don't think about it. It's not something that I want to do. But anyway.
Okay, so moving forward, because we have very limited time.
Yes.
Because he told me he's controlling time. So I forgot. Oh, okay. When you take responsibility is when you say, okay, I'm wrong. I need to do things differently because if I want different outcome of being who I am, I need to do things differently. So that's when you realize that the values that you have in the past, the beliefs and the faith that you have in the past, if they are not working anymore, it's okay to evolve. It's okay to stop believing in the stuff that you believe in the past. It's okay to do have different values, different perspectives, different priorities. Now, because I am a mother, because I'm a single mother, because I want my daughter to have a different life. I want for me a different life. So that's part of being yourself, accepting that you have changed and you have to go with the flow. Don't resist that part.
Yeah,
Pepe.
I don't go with the flow. Yeah.
Like you are so obsessed that you are not as you were 20 years ago. Like you just said it.
Well,
you just said it like you are so
I know.
obsessed.
I mean, it's not. I mean, there are things that I'm so much better than I was 20 years ago. There are things that I'm worse with. So the only regret that I have is I became uptight. I'm not as relaxed as I could be in the past. That's what I'm missing because I can see that the toll that stress is taking on me, and that's the only thing I regret. Then being like a stupid guy making stupid jokes just to so I could control at the time what people were thinking of me. So I was just like playing the part, so I know what they think of me because I was so afraid of what they would think about myself.
Well.
And so, of course, the path to that is like you should not care, right?
You should.
So instead of trying to control by being over the top and provocative, so you can control what they think of you, just be yourself and don't care what
other things.
Yes.
I mean, yes, that's one of the things, and that's when you have to stop thinking about the self that you were in the past. Like my parents are watching. We have the discussion that I had a very disastrous, probably past.
Disastrous.
Yes, that's the exact word that I will use because that's accurate.
Okay.
And then it's like no, like I won't let that to define me. That's in the past. I am new, and I'm going to use my past as trampoline and all. I think that's what you have to think. And that's why also I am thankful for having my best friend here, Pepe Lopez, because it's like, that's where you were, but don't look your past as the way you...
Like a burden?
Like, no, not like a
weight
burden.
on your shoulder?
Like you don't want to go back there, then again, do things differently. You are not that person anymore. You are this person. So that helped me because I was living in constant reassurance that I was that person when I was married. And then I was like, no, I am breaking free. I'm not that person anymore.
Okay, that's not. It's not very clear. What person you thought you were when you were
married? Because I was constantly reminded that I was that person that I was 20 years ago.
The disastrous one.
Yeah.
So in your marriage, you were constantly reminded that you were
that I was
a terrible person.
Yeah. Terrible person,
past.
A troublemaker, a train wreck, if I may say.
Okay.
But then it's like, no, I'm going to break free. And that's
Beautiful.
what and that's one of the things that I think it helped me, and it can help you if you think that you are still not yourself. I mean, I'm still not myself 100%. But and what you have to do, and you just said it, you have to stop comparing yourself with others because that's
the drama of my life. And I think of society in general.
Yeah, because I know there's out there funnier people than us in the podcast with more subscribers.
Funnier? No.
Prettier, smarter, driven. I know.
But we're unique.
Yes. Yes, we are. And I accept that.
Yeah. Sorry.
Are you okay?
Yes, go ahead.
And I accept that, and I am fine with that. And you have to stop doing that, because you're always thinking like, oh, but I should do this like the other guy, and blah blah blah, blah. You're always comparing.
No, like, okay, so it's a mix of, like, because I like to be inspired. So there are things that I see that really inspire me, and start ignite something in me, that then I put things into action. So that's what I'm always like looking for, things that inspire me and that makes me do things, right? And then there's the opposite of that. It's because you're trying to watch something else or to look into somebody else's trait or whatever to inspire yourself. Like, you also see the things that you are not, and that are taking you back, slowing you down, and have the total opposite effect, which means it stops you, because then the road seems so long, or you feel like it's something that you cannot do. You would like to, but it's not. And my big problem, and that's a problem for a lot of people that are kind of perfectionist in a way, and that's something that I'm learning every day. Yes, is that when I do something, I want it to be the best, not the best of what I can do, like the best out there.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's not going to happen. So because I'm getting into that mindset or that thinking pattern, then you don't start things. You don't put it into action, because before you start, you're already giving up, because your goal was to do the absolute best. And guess what? You cannot do the absolute best on the first try.
And I think that's why we started like the Super Right Now project, like this.
Yes.
Like the time frame when we discuss it, like, yeah, we should do this. And when we start implementing stuff,
yes,
it's because just like you sent me the link of the project, you know, the software that we use. And I was like, okay, dude, like, chill.
Put ideas into action.
Yeah. And that's another thing that I learned. To be more myself is do what you say you're going to do. Be trustworthy. Because before, in the past, I was not, but I was the opposite. I was unreliable. But he took it to the like, okay, let's do this. Because if we still keep thinking how we are not going to do anything.
I mean, obviously there was a lot of preparation, because I remember like we read things like 6 months ago. But I don't remember, and I go back to what we saved, and I look at it and like, oh wow, wait, didn't remember. So we did a lot of research. But like it was from me, so it was like everything at the same time instead of learning little by little.
And it's a learning process, and it's getting out of your comfort zone. That's another thing that I have learned, to get out of my comfort zone. This is not my comfort zone. It's something that I really want to do, but I don't feel comfortable, because it pushes me to do something that I don't like the descriptions. No, but I like the whole thing. But there are many tasks.
It's the post-production that you don't like.
Or because you push me a lot. And but I thank you because of that. Because I'm getting out of my comfort zone, seriously.
Okay, if I have something to say about it, like, I think you're going to go back to that on the next episode, right?
Yes, because it's a lot. I have been researching and I have been reading, and that's something that I really feel passionate about. It's
to be yourself, or to try to find your path.
And the other ones, the ones that surround me, I really enjoy the company and admire the company of a person that it's true to themselves, that it's loyal of what they think, of what they are, and they are not polluted from the outside world. Of course, you have to live in a society. I'm not saying that you have to be a lonely person to be yourself. No. And I think it's more important when you put yourself out there, when you are able to live in a society that it's telling you have to be this. No, and you step up.
Yeah.
And that's what
it really depends on what you want.
And that's what I really like. That's my passion.
Passion
es mi pasión.
Yes, but I mean, like, of course, it would be great if everybody can be themselves. But like, if there's one thing that I'm trying to work on is not trying to be perfect all of a sudden. And I just read a lot of things when you repeat and practice that you reach the
perfection.
The goal that you want to have. The key to success is iteration. And I read that not too long ago because it really talked to me because of my personality of wanting to do the best right away. Say no, I need to learn to be patient and just to do one and again and again. And once you accept that you have to do the thing probably 100 times before you can reach your goal, then maybe you're a little bit more relaxed. And that's why I have like all this anxiety or stress or whatever. It's because I put so much pressure on my shoulder to do perfectly right away.
Yeah,
So,
and I think for me it's that what you just said. It's in my current job because I like my job. You know that.
I mean, you're trained for it. I mean, you're good at what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm very good. Yeah, for my current job or what I do is just I really like my job. So I want to be perfect. I want to be the best. I want to deliver every time. So when I don't do that, that's why I got very depressed this week. Seriously. But
Yeah.
thank you for my best friend. Always there for me.
Yeah,
In his own way.
yes.
Because at the beginning he is like, not like punitive. I don't want. I mean he.
Well, are you going to scold again?
Yes,
No?
scold. Yes, no. He doesn't scold, but you do like this type of tough love advices. Like you're not like, oh yeah, I'm sorry. No, like first you're like, okay, all like.
Yeah, pragmatic. Very pragmatic.
And then you care, and then you're like, oh yes, everything is gonna be fine. But after you beat me up, like, thank you.
Because you have to react. If you're in a situation, it's once you get out of the situation that comes the comfort. When you're in the shit, you need to find out how to get out of the shit, right?
Yes.
And it's not going to come by saying, oh yeah, everything's fine. No, how to get out of the shit. So step 1, step 2, step 3. You're out. Then we can comfort and learn from it. But I mean, that's the way I did.
I think I did. I got out of the shit.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Thank you for getting me out of the shit.
Yeah.
You grabbed me from the floor.
Once more.
Fiona, rise from the shit.
Fiona, rise from the shit. I think nowadays in our generation, and because of internet and the device that we have and Instagram and TikTok,
The social media,
all the social media, before when we were comparing ourselves or to what we wanted to do, at least in my generation, it was to the closest people around us. We didn't have many different
lives.
examples of like normal people. Then you had, of course, people on TV and documentaries that would give you some examples. But it took a limited part of your life, right? It was not like
overexposed.
Yeah, now that we're constantly on our devices, whether it's on the computer or watching TV or on our phones, you constantly have the reminder that you have somebody out there that is prettier, that is funnier, that is smarter, you know what I mean? So you're always, I think a lot of people in these generations are always constantly trying to compare, and that's hell, like really. And on the other side of the spectrum, I see a lot of people that are, I think, very smart from the beginning, or it's good because they have a good personality. They understand right away that what they're facing, is like a massive comparison tool if they accept it to be this way, and they don't accept it. Yeah. It's like, no, to each his own. They're like this. You do your thing, I do my thing. And they don't even, and that's what you see when people give advice, what you should do. And then like, it's be yourself, but like try to learn from what you like. Take one part of this one that will teach you, but don't try to be better than this or better than that or better than, just like be yourself.
Be better, but not at our level. No? Nobody could get to our level. And so on social media now, that's the new advertisement. Before we had advertisement on TV only, and on magazines and billboards and stuff like that. And now we have it on social media. Yeah, Instagram, everywhere.
And we have it hidden. Before, when you had an advertisement, it was clear. I mean, at least, for me, from where I come from, it was clear it was a commercial for something. Now everything is hidden. Like they will show a bottle and
Like we want to do that. So if someone wants to sponsor us, we can advertise your product very smoothly.
Yes. Any brand can sponsor us. Any viewer or listener can send us money as well.
My mom.
We accept everybody's money on these very dire times because it's not really funny nowadays, right? But
Even the weather.
I stumbled upon like an article not too long about favorite brands. Well, actually, it was a French article saying what was the favorite French people brand, and it's a sports store called Decathlon. It's in 58 countries.
Decathlon?
So maybe some people know it. I think it's not in the US. Decathlon.
No.
Decathlon.
I know that brand because I tried to get something for you.
Oh yes, that's when you try to get the French soccer 2-star.
Yeah,
World
but
Cup
I
jersey.
didn't. I got in contact with them, and then I had no response. Very nice. The customer's French service. It's very good.
Yeah.
Ignore you. So I stumble on an American website that offer the French Soccer World Championship jersey. And when I paid and when I received my...
for the full price?
Yeah, for the full price, I received the tracking number. We're coming from China. Yeah. From, I don't know, it took like a month.
And it was super fake. So she bought it for an official jersey is super expensive. So she had the best intention, very kind and a caring gesture for our best friend. But I received a fake jersey with 2 stars going over there.
Yeah, but it was because of his man boobs. Don't blame the Chinese. Don't blame the Chinese. So sorry.
I have more man boobs now than I had at the time.
So probably now it's on the neck, like here.
No, but for a month we could not find the French soccer jersey with 2 stars, which means 2 World Cup. Because
4 months.
Because the World Cup apparently was, not apparently, it's sponsored by Adidas.
5 months.
Yes.
It took 5 months.
Yeah. And the jersey were Nike, and there were a conflict, so they could not release the second star jersey in anyway.
Okay, so Decathlon.
The Decathlon is the favorite brand. It's a sports store that was born the same year as me in 1977. It's a few friends, I think, in Paris, like they couldn't find a sports store that had a lot of different sports gear, so they decided to build it up, and so it started basically with me, like my whole generation. Now it's the French favorite brand. They do a lot of affordable. Affordable sports gear. And I was reading, so they had the full thing on why it's the favorite brand, etc. And there was like one anecdote that I found like very funny. It's like, so they were asking them, do you have one anecdote about Decathlon like not too long ago? He said, well, 5 or 6 years ago, we weren't very short on supply for one item, and it was very strange because usually it was a steady sale throughout with the season, but they were like really sure of their stock because it's not something that was changing all the time. And said like, but this year like we ran out of stock like in 1 week, and we could not, it was really hard to get more, and we are a lot of demand. It was for what is called a riding crop, which is like the whip for the horses. And like we tried to find the reason why we ran out of stock. Well, we had trouble restocking. We had a lot of demand because that was something that, you know, like there was not a huge sale of horses all of a sudden that would increase the demand of riding crops.
In whole France?
In the in most of the stores, most of the stores, and I think even like throughout Europe, I think, and then they figured out why.
Why?
Because they looked at when they started to have like a high demand and out of stock for the riding crop, and the reason why it was matching the release of a movie, which is like 50 Shades of Grey or 50 Shades Darker. So people, instead of going to an adult store getting their whip, they went
to
in
the Decathlon
in the sports store to.
So that's why you have like 3 here.
Sure. That would
Do
mean,
it to yourself.
yeah, that means I would be active. Yeah, I think I'd say it's a bad boy.
Bad boy.
That's
boy.
That's what I.
Subscribers, friends.
Yeah, friends, please.
We need someone to be using that thingies too.
But so when I stumbled about that article, I was like, oh yeah, I wonder what are like the favorite brands in the US.
Okay.
So I looked it up, and I was really surprised with the first one because I was thinking, like the most profitable companies. Like Apple, Amazon,
Coke,
Google, and stuff like that.
Uber,
and then the first one that came up, it was the United States Postal Service, USPS.
USPS, really?
Favorite brand, and I was like very, very surprised.
Yeah, it's a boring brand. I mean, it's very patriotic.
Yes. Why?
For the Americans, because Americans does everything still in the mail. Like they pay every. I receive so many shit through the mail.
Mm.
Like seriously, I don't open my mail for a week.
Yeah, in 2020,
and I have shit all over my mail. Like if I wasn't checking my mail for the last month.
Yes.
And people that move, please pay $1 and change your address because I'm still receiving the mail from my two
here,
or three.
It's never been like that.
Oh
I receive mail for 3 different persons.
Yeah, pay $1. It's the only thing that it takes to change your address.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry if I receive IRS shit from you. That's your responsibility.
No, but that's actually a crime if you don't forward it. It's
okay,
a crime.
I take that back. I haven't received anything.
I did.
No, I haven't. No, the only thing
I did receive. You say that because I told you I received something from the IRS from someone else. But yeah, the U.S. Postal Service, and I was really surprised because it's 2020, and as you said, like here it's really weird, but they still tell you like to send checks or whatever.
Yeah.
When it's 2020, you should be able to pay everything online. And but I think it's because of the aging of society. You have a lot of people like my mother that are over 60, but I still don't have this reflex.
They are still fighting.
It's not automatic for them to think they can pay online. Like my mother was resisting paying online for years. She was like, I'm not trusting that if I'm not putting my credit card information there, and she was always
devil stuff.
And for me it's the opposite. Like I never had cash on me for the past 10 years at least. Like I don't have cash, I don't have checks,
money.
and I don't have money either.
So sponsors.
Yeah, it's getting really bad. But and I think the reason why it's still the favorite brand, even I'm sure it's switching through the years, which was 2020. Mm-hmm. It was different in 2019. And I think it goes with the aging of the population as well. You have more older people
here.
Yes. And I think you're like,
the
median age in the US is 39 years old. So, and in Mexico,
I think it's 28, 29. Yeah. Because seriously, my mom, she doesn't pay anything by mail. It's always electronic. Yes. Even my dad, it's like very good at it.
Yes, but
he's very good, and he's 67.
But that's also the reason why, like when you say, and because for me, it doesn't look like in France. They receive less than here, but I think it goes with the average age of the population. It's the average age in French is 42 years old, I think. So it's becoming a very old society, and I think it goes with it. We're still in the middle when we have still a lot of generations alive that never relied on emails, on paying online, and they're still like look into their mail.
Yeah.
And countries like Mexico, when most people would think, we're number one in progress in the United States, and for you it looks really,
my experience. It looks
really weird that you have more mail in the US than you would have in Mexico, because people in Mexico pay online more.
And you know why?
And it's a younger generation.
Because it's more, you waste more money printing all that shit, like paper, like statements, everything. I think it really comes with generation. It's very expensive to print that, and to take that, you have to pay someone to print. You have to pay someone to put it on the envelope.
That makes business.
Yeah, but it's a lot of, imagine the we are polluting this world.
But it's always supply and demand. If you have an aging population that is still relying on mail, then people will send it because they see they get results out of it.
Yeah.
And if you're in Mexico and it's a younger generation that doesn't care about receiving mails, then they are not going to invest in sending mails and put this.
And well, here in US, they rely a lot in the USPS, especially in these days, the voting situation. They are, and that's one thing that I really admire about Americans, that they rely so much on the USPS that they are defending their position, like, because Trump is saying, like, no, don't vote, like, I don't want the votes getting to the mail because it's gonna be a fraud. And people's like, no, we have always relied on the USPS because they have delivered our vote, and I know my vote it's gonna get when it needs to be received.
It's going to get there.
Yeah, it's gonna get there, and I really and that's very interesting. That's a good one. Bravo, Pepe. It's a very good one.
But
the second one.
So Google.
Sorry.
And then
again.
UPS. I think UPS and then Amazon. I think it's linked because you receive everything. Now they have their own driver as well.
Yeah.
But like for years we had everything for UPS and it was really reliable, like extremely reliable.
UPS, yes.
Yeah, like Amazon Prime, like you get the 2 days or whatever. Like for me, my mind was blown that
I don't rely. I rely in UPS, but I don't rely in Amazon
FedEx,
Prime.
No, oh, okay.
No, Amazon Prime. But there's
No,
always
it's getting worse because they're accepting everybody from everywhere. But anyway, so and then Netflix, then Clorox. I guess it's the 2020 situation.
That's thanks to Trump.
Amazon Prime, M&M's for whatever reason, and YouTube is number 10.
YouTube?
Yes, and I looked into the more into the French favorite brand.
Okay.
And YouTube is number 9. Wait.
Which is the first one? Decathlon?
Decathlon, yeah.
And the second one?
And then the second one is like something like Home Depot, which is also it's a French Home Depot. These are all the French brands that people like. And then the French Best Buy, and then the
French.
And IKEA is
the French Apple.
IKEA is number 5 and Amazon is number 7.
I cannot find.
But there's no Dior, Chanel, or whatever because these are not average consumers. It's luxury brands. Nobody can afford it, so that's why it's not on
You
the.
You cannot afford Louis Vuitton.
It's not.
Gucci?
That's why it's not on the preferred.
Ferragamo. Me neither. I'm just.
and so what is it in Mexico? What are the favorite brands in Mexico?
I think the first one, if I'm doing a good guess, it should be Coca-Cola, Coke, and Bimbo. Bimbo is not a food. Bimbo, it's the number one bakery, I would say, company that had bought all these brands from all over the world. Like here, they bought, I think, Sara Lee, Wonder. They had bought many other companies around the world.
Okay, bread.
Yes, yeah, bread and tortillas.
Yes, tortillas.
The flat thing.
Yes.
Beside my butt. Very Mexican flat thing. It's not a tortilla. It's my butt. But
are you a bimbo?
Are you? Yeah, I can say that. Do you think I am a bimbo?
No, I don't think so. No.
Okay. So I think it's Bimbo. First is Coke, Bimbo, and then probably I think everything has to be with food. That talks about Mexico.
Yeah, and
a lot because it's only food, and that's why we discussed 2 banters ago, the 10th one, about why Mexican government are forbidding this
junk food for kids.
And I was reading that this how do you say, like, this law enforcement, it's because the actual government wants to revenge, or they want to have a revenge towards Bimbo, because Bimbo, it's a very it's very
powerful, I guess.
No, because they supported the previous presidents. So now it's political, and they are taking.
So it's not really about the kids.
I was reading. I was like, what? I mean, that makes sense because Bimbo, it's the number one seriously company in the world for bread. I mean, you can read it.
Yes.
And they have a lot of money. So they gave supposedly a lot of money to the Felipe Calderón, which was the previous president before Peña Nieto. And it's funny because this guy, the current president, he has been trying to be president since 12 years, 18 years ago. So he lost against this president, Felipe Calderón, that was supported by Bimbo.
Okay.
So that's what they are saying.
Yeah, it's lobbying, basically.
That's what they are saying. So I was like, it makes sense. I'm not saying that I am totally, like, I agree totally about that. But
you don't have proof?
I don't have proof, but in some extent it makes sense that this guy is taking, because Bimbo has everything in Mexico, everything. Like, it's not only the bread, they have the Twinkies and all the junk food, basically for kids that you can buy, the gancitos. Mexicans that are out there, please send me gancitos, because the gancitos is a little, it's like a Twinkie covered in chocolate, and in the middle you have...
Okay.
Gancitos, please.
But they have a lot of power because they are the number one company, so they can pressure other people because they
have a lot of influence.
Money. It's like the lobby, so then they can pressure and then they gain power.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the problem that's a huge issue. But we're going to talk next banter, the follow-up to your Be Yourself.
Yes.
And I'm going to do what I was supposed to do today, which was the 2020 predictions part 2.
Because we have part 1.
Yes, that was in banter number 11. And so we'll continue on the next one. And I will take a shower before the next one. Will you?
Yeah, me too.
Okay, good.
I guess, depending on my mood.
Okay.
Depending on the other.
Well, thank you for listening. Thank you for viewing. And comment, like, subscribe.
Spread the word about Super right now.
Yes, please.
We are good. We are two friends that we have problems and issues, but we are here taking control of our lives.
Please hang out with us. We are here to keep you company.
Make things happen.
And as she says. As she was saying.
As I was, make things happen.